Oh yeah,
Yeah.
maybe soon. Takes time to
Yeah, it's not an easy
read
thing
the
to
Bible and
do.
compose.
Yeah, read the Bible. Hello, welcome to the Quackcast. This is Quackcast number 366. And this is the Albino Ginger Quackcast, or to everyone who's American, Albino Ginger. So, hello, Albino.
Hello.
also, Bo, known as Bo Knowles. Which one do you prefer, Albino, or Bo?
Either one.
Either one. And of course, we have Pitt. Hello, Pitt.
Hello, Oz. Hello, Albino. Hello, the rest of you.
Oh, that's a very louche hello. And we have...
To look that word up.
Yeah, I was just thinking of it because I got my silk robe on tonight. So I thought, louche.
I know, I see you sitting there like some kind of Persian... what do they call them? The guys that have the concubines. I can't remember now.
Sultan.
You're sitting there with the Sultan. That's right.
I'm a sultan, the Quackcast. Sultan your ears. And we have Tans. Hello, Tans.
Hello, Mr. Albino and everybody else. But I never say hi. So.
Oh, we're a very polite Quackcast today. And Baines, hello.
Hello.
Baines is just hello to everyone.
Hello to everyone.
So before we get into the interview part of the Quackcast, we'll have to do our the normal things, which is of course the comic feature, which is Kwai de Gakse, and she's given us Fluffy 500. So take it away, Kwai, with Fluffy 500.
Hello, this is Kwai de Gakse, and the feature I've selected for this week is Fluffy 500 by Iron Horse Comics, and it is rated T for teen. Richard Wallace, a popular race car driver, has just transferred to Racing University after dropping out of school, where he is the only non-hairy student on campus. He has to race daily as he is on a full scholarship, but he has already caught the eye of some of the ladies on campus, namely the cheetah chick, Shawa Robertson. How will Robert's life drastically change at his new school? The art is in full digital color. There are plenty of car views and drawings of anthropomorphic animals for fans of the genre. Relive uncomfortable university experiences and read Fluffy 500 by Iron Horse Comics, rated T.
And that was Tans with Fluffy 500. Thanks, not Tans. It was Kwai. Yeah, Tans, where are your features? Come on, hurry up.
You wish. No.
Oh, God. Now that sounds kinky. Thanks very much for that, Kwai. You did a great job. Okay, next up, we're going to have our, the featured music, which Gun Wallace has given us, and he forgot that he gave us the featured music for Cybertech, and so he did another feature tune for Cybertech. So Cybertech gets two. So it originally,
wow.
Yeah, lucky Cybertech. Number 299, Quackcast 292, sorry, was the first. If anyone wants to go back to that and listen. And now on this Quackcast, the second one, and so this one is it's slow, it's panoramic, it's an introduction to the dark future, promising action and adventure across the dim blackness of space. So take it away, Gun Wallace, with Cybertech Mark II. And that was our music. Thanks for that, Gum Wallace. Okay, so God, I'm getting confused. Albino. I just potato. I don't know. I'll call you Bo. It's easier. I won't be confusing our American audience. Okay, so thank you so much for your contribution to the fund for our comment replies and comment notifications that helped push us over the top. It was like $100, $150. It was a whole lot, wasn't it? It was a big one.
Yeah, I think it was like 100, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Something like that. It was like, yeah, a lot of money. So that really helped push us over the top because it was a slow one this time, and yeah, thank Christ. So
Hey.
yeah.
Yes.
It was so
Yes, thank
grateful
you.
for that, and we were getting we almost got the thing done too. Thank Christ. Alexi is doing it very slowly because he's got a day job. So, but we won't talk about him. We got to talk about the excellent comics you've done, and I particularly enjoyed the Bible, which is the Holy Bible, the Albino Ginger version. That's really cool. That. When you first start reading it, have you guys all read it or had a look
Most
at
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, most of it.
It's really fun. When you first read it, you think, it's as told by this crazy one-eyed priest, and he's telling his church following about it, but you start to think, hang on, this is like introducing all the weirdest, most wrongest ideas about the Bible, like evangelical crazy kind of people. But you've got it in the notes down below saying, had that Ken Ham and like just crazy flat earthers, blah blah. So you got the commentary down below to sort of to temper.
Albino's like, what are you laughing at? These are my actual ideals. This is my new church. I don't get what's so funny.
You know the Earth is flat.
And the moon is a disc.
Yes.
I love it how the Albino Jesus just picks up the a mountain and throws it in the sky. That's the moon.
I think that's Gandalf. I think that's actually Gandalf.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I keep thinking he's Jesus because he's got the bathrobe on. So yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, he's not
creator.
Jesus, but he is Jesus because he's the Holy Trinity. So there you are.
Yes. He's the Father.
But we are not actually in the New Testament yet, so no, it's Father.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get to the New Testament.
Slowly making your way through Genesis.
Be a sequel.
We all know Old Testament is best, which is actually, it's supposed to be a joke because there's a band called Testament, but nobody knows that. So you don't have to laugh. That wasn't funny.
Once you explained it, it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
The explanation is funny. Not the joke. Well, yeah, maybe a Testament can be the theme to Albino Ginger, the Bible according. Now, there's two comics called Albino Ginger. Well, there's the Bible one, which is the current one, which is fantastic. I enjoy it. But there was the original Slice of Life that you gave up, which was quite fun. So why did you give that up?
Well, it was back when I was in college, and I didn't know what I was doing, and if my website got hacked or something, I just couldn't figure it out, and I just gave up.
Oh, well, that was. It starts off sort of a little. Some of it's funny, some of it's not.
Yeah.
And then it gets really funny towards the end, and that's when it stops. It's just going, "Whoa, that's so cool." I love those jokes, especially when the guy's talking to the he's working at a fast food place, and he's talking to this guy who's doesn't speak English very well, and he's trying to do guy talk with him, and it's just not working out, and they're sort of having this weird conversation. You're like, guys, all this kind of thing. Is that based on a real event, or You just came
What?
up with it.
Yeah, they're based on like just events. Like the abduction one was a weird dream I had once. But yeah, they're based on actual stuff.
Oh, pleased to hear you weren't really abducted by aliens and forced to pay. Oh, God.
Can't talk about it.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to do the Bible?
Well, like, so like I was, like, I've always been an atheist.
Yeah.
And like a few years back, I moved in with my grandfather to help him out to help him out with some personal stuff. And he ended up he ended up talking to the Jehovah's Witnesses, and it changed him.
Oh no.
Yeah. And this was kind of my response to that. He's gone now, but like that's like how I realized what damage like religion does to people, and this is just my like screw you.
Yeah, certain kind of sex and things like that can really screw with people's perceptions of reality, can't they? They can.
Yeah.
I can't help but notice how you have a striking resemblance to God in your comic.
Well, he was made in his image, so.
Or vice versa. Return the favor.
Oh, geez.
Can I say something? I actually have read about halfway through chapter 2.
Yeah.
I don't know what comes after, but as I'm a theist, and what I see here is a very tasteful and actually very witty representation of scripture, and a very, very nice is not a good description, but I would say very succulent. That's the word I'm looking for. Description of how people use scriptures when they have the power of the interpreter of those scriptures. So,
yeah.
First of all, I want to say kudos for that, because it would have been very easy not to be this tasteful as you are being. So kudos. I might revoke that when I go through the entire thing, but I don't. But seriously, I don't think I will. What I want to ask is,
She didn't get to the Jesus orgy arc yet.
no, I didn't actually get there yet, but I wish. Because I'm multitasking. Full disclosure, I'm actually reading the rest of it now. So, what I wanted to ask though is how much, I mean, in your experience, how much of a discussion did this comic stimulate?
What was that?
What from sponsors? What are the responses that you got for this comic? I mean, did it stimulate discussion? Did it get a good reaction, a bad reaction, and what are your emotions out of this? Okay, that's a lot of questions, but you know.
That's a good question. I was wondering how myself.
So, like, what have I gotten from people so far? As one of the questions. I don't think anybody's read it. Enough people have read it to really say anything. Like I'm basically just getting like there's like 3 or 4 people from the duck that post on everybody's things, and I get those guys a lot, but they never really say anything serious about anything too much.
Okay.
And what was the question?
Well, since now it negates most of the question in the sense that you will not have an answer for. But let's twist it a little bit different. Let's spin it a different way. How has this comic affected you as you were making it?
It's like I've read a whole lot more scripture than I used to. I don't know. I'm terrible at interviews.
It's a terrible thing to pay for.
Yes.
You're well versed in Bible studies, and like you seem to know.
Well, I would say I'm
stuff
well
that I do.
versed in it, but I'm much better than I used to be.
So you actually do research and stuff like this on.
Yeah, like
stuff. Yeah, that's great.
The 3rd chapter is I'm not just doing from the Bible. I'm doing trying to get as much of the non-canonical sources. So like the 3rd chapter is mostly about Lilith.
Okay.
So I did a bunch of research for that, and
I do like the one page as you led up to the beginning of the comic. You had these one panel little snapshots kind of various characters, and Lilith was one of them. And sort of putting kind of a fine point on what they boil down to, what these characters kind of boil down to, Lucifer, Lilith, and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. I haven't gotten to the Lilith story stuff yet, but
yeah. Like I think all I got right now is the cover posted, I think.
Right. It's go on, Tans.
I was just going to mention that I'm very impressed that this super uber fanatic narrator that we get, that is like the evangelical preacher from hell, that he who is also a flat earther and I don't know what else, that he envisions Adam as being black, because that's actually quite progressive for that.
Well, it's actually in the child's head. So it's not just the preacher's story, because like in the 3rd chapter, he meets a Hasidic Jew, and that's where you get Lilith from. But it all takes place in the child's head.
Okay then.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting take on it. So it's the child who's coming up with all the visions, of course.
At least that's...
I'll go on.
Oh, at least that's how I envision it right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting idea. I hadn't realized that. Yeah. So he's being talked to by the crazy priest. Yeah, I was wondering why God didn't resemble the crazy priest. And I presume the crazy priest is a Catholic priest.
I don't know.
He's just a general kind of old school sort of evangelical kind of guy, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows a lot more familiarity with the Bible than I have. Sort of just like, real intricacies about things that I'd never even thought of. Like I don't really know like the order of he created fish and all that kind of thing first. And I was reading through the notes, and it says there's like 2 versions of Genesis in Genesis. We have the God created blah blah blah, and then and then we create man, but we've already created man, so you've sort of interpreted it as that. Oh, Neanderthal. That's
Yeah.
so you've incorporated real science into the whole build up to the thing. That's interesting. Was that deliberate? You thought, okay, I'm gonna do it like a meld between science and.
Well, yeah. I was basically trying to figure out, like, he makes man and then he makes another man. I figured, we got Neanderthals, which are close enough, so maybe,
Yeah. Okay. But you've also got, like, fish into birds and all that kind of stuff, so, and dinosaurs in, all that kind of stuff. So you've got, and I love that, you're showing like all the original fish and sea creatures that have been created. So you've got some of the like really extinct ancient ones with the strange hooked kind of, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, you've got a lot of, fossil science in there as well as the creation stuff. It's so fantastic to have that there. And of course the Black Adam, which, Tance mentioned. So, and of course the original humans, we were all black originally. So
yeah.
you've got it going well there. It's lovely. So yeah, why is, you're saying like, the whole atheist kind of thing, but was that part of the whole reason to say, okay, I'm not going to do this like totally fantasy. I'm going to go with the science here.
Well, I like science. More like I'm more science fiction oriented than fantasy oriented, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Same.
and I've been listening to a lot of bad creationist apologetics, and like their big thing is dinosaurs, and so.
Oh yeah, all the Ken Ham stuff and
Ken Ham's, Ken Hovind, those people.
Jeez, that must be painful.
Yeah, can be.
And incorporating flat Earth into there as well.
Yeah,
it's like a whole grab bag of good stuff.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't get about all of these big, like, Kent Hovind, like he's really against the flat Earth when it's basically just as crazy as his stuff, and they get from the same place.
Exactly.
I just don't understand. I don't understand his thinking.
Oh, geez, Tance is curious about these guys. So Ken Ham, he's actually an Australian guy, which we're all ashamed. And he has a chin strap beard, which is a good mark for a creationist. Mr. Moses beard. And yeah, or Noah.
Okay.
And so,
unfortunate things. Like I was trying to learn who these people were in the chat comments, so that I would be surreptitiously educating myself.
Well, it's good to tell the listeners as well, because maybe they don't know. That's the thing. So it's a good question.
Yeah, it's. I have to say that it is a very sad thing when you got people like that tarnishing a lot of things, and like they are making a lot more damage. Mm-hmm. No, actually, they just create damage. Let's put it that way. All around. I'm glad to say I have had the privilege of never being exposed to such people. Perhaps because there is a culture in Greece that you go completely against science, you get so ridiculed that you literally can't walk the streets very well. It's extremely hard for like a flat earther to survive.
What, you stone them?
Excuse me, what? What did you say?
Stone them? Nothing, that's a
Again?
joke.
That's if they made the interruptions, and I didn't hear it. But the thing is that
Did you stone them?
yeah, with words. And you know that words hurt more than stones and sticks. That could be abuse, I guess, either way. The thing is that there is a very fine line between real, let's say, inquisitive thinking and trying to interpret things and trying to marry certain ideas together, and there is ridiculous things that
ridiculous.
Yes, that hurt someone's intellect. So I'm sorry that you have been exposed to such things, and I am not going to Google those people. Is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, it sort of it's depressing. He's got a museum shaped like Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
It's giant.
And I think didn't the state basically give him the land, and there's a whole bunch of I don't know all the details, but he didn't have to pay for most of it, and he said he was going to give the community all this traffic, but it's actually way off in the woods, so none of the community doesn't get any of it.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of really shady dealings around the
It's costing hundreds of millions of dollars to the state, so it's all in the hole. I think most of the traffic they get is from people who come to mock and laugh and gawk at it.
What if it's just like a big money laundering front? Like nobody would want to know it's dark.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Are you gonna put that in your comic now?
Yeah.
Excellent. Glad to be a part of this.
Got so much scope for good stuff, because as Pitt said, the Old Testament, you got all those fantastic stories.
Yeah.
Once you get through
I did.
Genesis, go on, Pitt.
I thought Tanya said that. I don't remember. Don't listen to me. I'm painting my nails. I'm a little delirious right now.
It's very important to paint your nails.
It is important.
So you got the whole Noah's Ark thing. You've got Sodom and Gomorrah and all that kind of cool stuff you can tackle for us. But first, we've got to have the whole Lilith and Eve and Garden of Eden, and it's fun to look forward to that. See how you're going to tackle it.
Yeah.
And actually, you had this very interesting little snippet, like a couple of pages where Gabriel, I think, the angel, goes to petition God with a prayer. I think was that a prayer that he took to God?
God bless America.
Yes, that one. And that was pretty interesting because that sounds more like a commentary on the application of religion, or at least the beginnings of that. Is that right?
Yeah. I guess it's just me saying what does he really think of America? I guess that's a commentary.
I like when it shows him sitting in his throne and there's all these people spread around him, like Hitler's like lying on his lap, like of all people.
Yeah.
Right down him like a dead fish.
And Angel Raphael is dressed up like the Ninja Turtle course.
Yeah, I like that you did the happy one. Yeah, I had a good little chuckle. A good little chuckle.
You think, why is he wearing a mask? Is it some kind of fetish thing? Oh, I get it. And in the beginning of the comic, you've got all the teasers as well for what we can expect. Those are pretty cool. When did you decide to do that? Did you sort of do that first, or did you do the comic and then go back?
Well, I had the first chapter done, and I hadn't posted anything yet, and then I decided to just have a bunch of those leading up to it, just because my basic ideas of what the characters might look like.
Oh,
like Satan does not look much like that anymore, but most of them have stayed pretty much the same. The ones I've gotten to in the story so far.
That's a really cool way to do it. I think
it's
I'll
interesting
do that
that you have Satan, but you also have the serpent as a different character.
Yeah.
How come?
Oh yeah. Well, originally, like, the serpent wasn't connected to Satan at all. Like, it was just a beast of the field, and I'd probably be giving out spoilers for later on if I mention something. But yeah.
For a second, I thought you meant Bible spoilers.
I got a certain interpretation that I'm thinking about going with later on. That might, I don't know.
Are you using any official interpretations of the Bible to make your comic, or is it your take completely?
It's my take. Like, if I hear an interpretation that I like, I'll use that. But it's basically, I read it, and then if I hear something about that passage or something that I like, I'll add it in. But it's basically, I basically read the material, and then I just try to make it somewhat funny.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. I was just going through these early pages again, and I spotted the one with the Black Adam, and there's a certain scene in there where he's tilling the field and God's lounging on the chair, and you think, Jesus. You think, oh my God, that's a bit... And then you remember, yes, it is a satire. This is knowingly done, but yeah, you think, a black guy, like, strapped to a plow, naked, well, this guy's on this shit. That is just, whoa. Oh, so yeah, was it like a deliberate choice to sail close to the wind on those sort of things?
What? Yeah, like I'm aware that that's probably a lot of people are going to look at that as racist or something, but I just don't care.
Because then you realize, basically, even though that is a scenario, the white guy while the black guy is doing this work, do you realize, hang on, this is God and this is Adam, and he's actually depicting him as the first man, so he's actually, he represents all men.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So. Adam was basically made to take care of God's garden, like.
Yeah.
So we're basically his slave, I guess, or were.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and God, Eden is so desolate. I never pictured it that way.
That's true.
Yeah, that was me trying to figure out. That was also me trying to figure out another one of the two Genesis things. So basically, the first one is him putting all the seeds down, and then later on, in Genesis, it goes. He makes in the first chapter he makes plants, and then the second chapter, a mist comes up and waters the ground or whatever. So it's basically, I just said, he threw a bunch of seeds on the ground, and then later on, and they're gonna start growing eventually. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All that kind of early stuff is just so new to me because, like, it's been forever since I was read the Bible or read it or whatever, when I was really young and I still had to go to Catholic school. But yeah, you've got all the stuff about the actual location near the Euphrates River and all that. I never even knew that was in the Bible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
What, did they have like a map? Well, they didn't have a map, but you can make a map out of the passages. How weird. So it's all very literal.
Uh-huh.
How cool. Yeah, that was such a weird thing.
Yeah, but that's one reason, like, you get such a wide range of people saying, oh, the whole Bible's literal, or just parts of it are literal, and because they have it's written literally, but there's crazy stuff that people will not, I don't know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've got a mix of metaphorical elements, a hell of a lot of metaphorical. There's fantasy, and then you've got like real history in some of the things, or geography in terms of things. So yeah, it's pretty fantastic. So you started this comic like last year? No, in 2016, was it? Yeah. And towards the end. So this is like your main comic now. You're continuing with this one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I actually had another comic that's been in the beginning stages. Like, I'm writing a script I've been doing that for years on and off and on. And this is just, I set this to basically get myself to doing art again. So to basically, like, well, this has taken over most of my free time now, because I want to try to keep it updating at a regular speed, and I'm really slow.
Oh, damn. Tell me about being slow. Jeez. I've spent so many weeks on my latest page, you can't believe it. Oh. So yeah, what was the other one you were doing? Did you say?
It's actually it's a sci-fi story. It's basically a love letter to like all kinds of different like bad sci-fi movies and stuff like that.
Was that the Snow Black comic?
Cool.
Oh, are you talking about the other one I'm working on, or other comics I've made?
Oh no, the other one you're working on.
Oh yeah, that's not up on the site. I've just got I got like a bunch of pages of script so far, but that will probably never get done because it's a project.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. But you've done Snow Black before, which was a sci-fi one, so you did that last year.
No. Oh yeah, I put that on the site last year.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good, that one. It had a good twist at the end that I wouldn't expect. I won't spoil that for anyone, but you should read it. It's good. It has this Terminator kind of feel, and it just goes in a different direction. I love it. They should make a movie out of it.
Oh, boy.
It's those kind of comics are the ones that you could option and like do a script for, I think, because it's just a simple idea and it's conceived really well, and there's only a few characters, so it'll be so easy to do. Even a short kind of film. Yeah. So yeah, you should do that. There's all kind of film people in America. You can do it so easily.
Come on, make a movie out of this.
Then you can get the funding to do the Bible version. That's the passion project. Yeah, get Michael Bay, get the big guys. Johnny Depp starring as Jesus. He'll dye his hair.
Everything will go, like every chapter will have at least 3 explosions.
Yeah.
Oh,
Change it up.
The Old Testament stones will explode when Moses loses his shit. And
When he used the staff to make the water come out of the rock.
exactly.
that'll be a dick joke.
There will have to be lava going in and killing all the sea life, river life in the Nile. All of that.
These over the top crap films. Michael Bay. Man. What's wrong with that guy?
Makes money, I think.
It's doing something right. Yeah.
He gets reinforced to that sort of thing. Every explosion is a few $100,000.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a hell in your comedy, you should put Michael Bay there. Hitler doesn't deserve to be there. Michael Bay does.
Well, Hitler's in heaven right now, so.
Exactly, that's what I mean. That's so weird. I was trying to recognize all the other people you had in heaven as well. Were there any other ones?
I had Fred, what's his name? Fred Phelps, the Westboro Baptist guy.
Oh.
And I can't remember what's the name. Mother
Teresa?
I'm thinking that. I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's one of the mothers.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, and they're also smoking opium and stuff like that. It looks like God's also like drugged out of his. It's some weird kind of situation. He's surrounded by his groupies.
It's all actually autobiographical. That's why he looks like God.
Yeah. This is just an obscured version of Bo's life. Just like changes the details so nobody will know.
That'd actually be a really neat way to do a autobiography.
Oh, yeah.
Like to take some work like that and just kind of put yourself in it in a role that already exists.
Yeah, yourself as Jesus or yourself as God. That's so clever.
Yeah.
You've even got some cool kind of characters there. I'm just looking at it right now. It's just got so many things in there. So how long have you been doing the comics for? Like just comics in general?
Like off and on, I've been doing them forever. Like this is my first, other than in college, I started a website, but I basically had somebody set up so I could just stick the pages in because I don't know anything about computers. And yeah, but like I said, that site got hacked and I didn't know what I was doing, so I just gave up. But like I've made comics off and on all like my whole life.
Okay. Yeah, because you've got some really early versions on the side of comics that you've done. Like was it Ront, the Barbarian?
Yeah.
And
yeah, that went, I think, 6 issues before I stopped. I'm probably gonna stick those up on the duck at some point. The rest of those.
That was interesting. I couldn't really get through too much of it because it was just a very, very early style. I preferred the Albino Ginger one. So your artwork has developed a lot more. So what age were you when you started the Romp ones?
Not sure. I'd actually have to look. It was back when I was in high school.
2003.
He's actually brought you here to destroy your confidence as an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for your donation. By the way, your work sucks.
It's too late to take it back now, though.
What was that?
Too late to take it back now.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yep, it's already been spent on blackjack and hookers. So you started that in 2003, and you've sort of done other things since then. And so the Albino Bible is basically the culmination of all your, that's where all your kind of skill and everything has been put into. So that's like, you're honed everything you've learned, because I was looking at your use of halftones and all that kind of, clever effects and copy and paste panels and all that kind of cool stuff.
Yeah.
So have you been picking up these techniques from doing the comics, or have you been like researching that, or?
Basically just doing it. Like I went to art school, college, Art Institute of Boston. So yeah, I guess, like, what was the question again?
It's just like, the honing the skills, because there's been such a change of the artwork style from your early comics to the later ones. And a lot of us sort of, we improve as we go. Some people we'll take art lessons or whatever, and that will change us, or we'll research,
Yeah. No, I've noticed that basically just for me to like improve, I just need to do stuff.
Yeah. I think that's the important thing. The more you do,
just experience, practice.
Exactly. So what is your, what is your day job? What do you do?
I'm a exterminator.
Oh, cool.
Oh, really? Cool.
So you're like the Terminator, but with bugs.
Correct.
So yeah, does that sort of lend you any insights that you can use for comics, or?
I guess if I want to write a comic about killing bugs.
So not especially.
That could actually, that could be interesting. Something about an exterminator, and there's all sorts of shit you can do with that. And seeing as how you already have a developed sense of humor and stuff, and a developed way to deliver on that sense of humor in a visual way, I make something off of that. It's that kind of story, that kind of central character, I imagine, could really lend itself to your style well.
Yeah.
Think of the catastrophes that God and the angels are going to rain down on people later in the Bible.
That's what
You're
I was
right at
like
home with all that stuff already.
Scamper like ants.
Instead of like death, like the Grim Reaper, you just have like this exterminator guy go in there.
Stick a little pin behind the baseboards, and all the people come running out screaming.
We would say that the flood was an extermination thing, cleaning out to start anew and everything, so that the new guys can move in.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. Scorched earth. Yeah. Jericho, all that kind of thing. That's perfect.
I imagine that's going to be something like he accidentally like spilt his latte or something.
I meant to do that.
Oh, this flood's delicious, but I'm drowning.
Mocha sulfur is raining down.
You guys will. What's that?
That was from the barbecue. No.
Yeah, I love that. So all the so-called anger from God can just be hoc rationalizations. Yeah, that was because you pissed me off. What was it again? No red hats on Sunday. Oh my god, seriously.
Now that there is this meme level cartoon making the rounds in Greek Twitter a lot lately. I wonder why. Where you have the iconic depiction of God, as the old guy with the beard and everything, and he has the globe on his desktop, like in a cooking show, and he's showing how to create the perfect world. And then he's in the last panel. He says, "And now add just a pinch of this," but he has like this shaker that looks like pepper. But of course, it opens and everything gets tumbled in on earth. And the label on the shaker is, let's say, jerk-offs in
assholes.
and that's why the world is full of them now.
An accident with an arsehole. Oh, that's funny. Oh, jeez. Yeah, you got so much scope for humor in the Bible according to Albino Ginger. It's such a good comic. When it first started, I thought this is just so off the wall. This is a weird one. I did not know what to think. And then Quai featured it, so I read it, and yeah, it was pretty cool. And I thought, damn you, Quai. Always get the good ones. Always. What did you think when you were featured?
I was pretty excited. Like, my views went way up. And I don't know, I was pretty happy.
Well, I'm glad it was, because it's such a good comic. It's good to have it in the spotlight, especially because it's a weird kind of scenario. Not many comics tackle religion. There's been a few, and it's always a nice weird take. I like all the different takes on religion. Some people are really, like, we had one, it was called A Reasonable Case. So his idea was like totally opposite. So he was like saying, okay, I'm going to postulate some kind of almost scientific version for why the universe could be created by a god. And so he has all this kind of rationalization that goes through, and his reasonable case, so his philosophy, which was interesting, but it was his personal thing. And this is like going totally the opposite, which is a lot of fun. I
think both each comic serves completely different purpose.
Yeah.
The reasonable case, at least for me as a reader, as an audience, was creating this hypothesis without trying to prove or disprove the hypothesis. It was just the postulation. Is that a word? I don't know. Okay. It was this setup of this hypothesis that was being described very methodically and scientifically, and without keeping as much the objectivity in it as possible. And then it was out there, it was done, and you could take whatever you wanted from it. Reading the Holy Bible, I think the way Albino Ginger approaches it, I think, is more of a commentary and a personal take on it. When I say personal take, I mean that the emotions and the impressions and perhaps, of course, correct me because you are the creator.
In both senses.
Yeah, the ideas that this person that creates this comic has taken out of this entire experience, not only with the Holy Bible, but with those that use it. Let's say that. So I think it's a completely different point and service, let's say, that this comic is striving to, as opposed to the reasonable case one.
Yeah, it's true. It's very entertaining. That's the thing. Whereas the other one is not set out to be entertaining either. So, yeah, serves a whole different kind of audience, or what's the word?
It's also entertaining. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it set me a little bit on the alert. I mean, whenever going in to read it, I was sort of scared because I know what I was going to encounter, and I have been at times exposed to a lot of things that are, let's say, not classy, in the sense that there is.
Hey, I told you not to read my comic if you weren't ready for it.
You told me too late, babes.
Well, I need the stats. I need the readership. I told you after.
Well, my hits don't count. You know that. We have it under your hit count. So anyway, the usually, I mean, there is a bit of an alertness. The commentary might reach the line and go into just polemic, let's say. And this is not the case here. So I'm glad. And again, I say kudos for that. Sincerely.
Yeah. How do you keep away from polemic kind of stuff?
What was that?
How do you police yourself against preaching?
I don't.
I mean, it's like you don't have your main character, God, who is like Albino Ginger. You don't have him saying, speaking with your voice about, but blah blah blah. All religion is bad. All that kind of thing, and you're all just sheep, and you don't have that kind of thing.
Well, because I'm making a story, not like I don't know.
Yeah, you don't. So you avoid polemics. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I would recommend it highly to everyone. So we're sort of going towards the end of the Quackcast here. So I'd say, everyone, please read Albino Ginger. It is the Bible according to Holy Bible, the Albino Ginger version, or albino.
You can come and read Albino Ginger himself. He has several restraining orders against other people for that, though. So if I were you, be careful. It'd be a better idea to go read his comic instead.
Yes.
It is a joy, and it's only getting better. And if anyone knows the Bible, it's going to get better. It just gets cooler, everything. And you really want to see what's going to happen with Adam and Lilith. What's going to happen?
Oh, man, Lilith, I'm very excited to see what happens.
With Adam and Eve. That was pretty gross, by the way. The whole Adam finding a mate. Oh, God. Oh, dude. That was, yeah. Jeez. That scarred me.
Can I just, of course, it's not a suggestion, but just a thought that came like a couple of pages after I saw it, but you shouldn't. You can do whatever you like, but I don't think that you should have Adam hiding his family jewels until he actually eats the fruit, because that's when he started thinking that was wrong. At least according to the Genesis. So no big leaf for him.
Yeah.
Tanya's like, he's like, I'm just suggesting it because I think it would be more true to the story. I have no other reason.
It's not that. Like,
I'll make a picture just for you, Tance.
Oh, poor Dad. Oh.
kind of makes me wonder why God is wearing a bathrobe in the first place. So free with everything.
Yeah,
Probably didn't.
He's God. He can afford those kind of things. That's why.
yeah.
That's true.
He's got the finest stained toweling bathrobe that money can buy. Dirty bathrobe.
Why does he have only a bathrobe though? See, that's the kind of work that Albino Ginger has created. You have all those kinds of questions, and those are possibly inspirations for you to make your own versions of religious scriptures all over. So, there you go. Whatever is inspired is worth a while. So
Yeah, that'll be Baines and I. That'll be our next project that we take 10 years to do. The
That's
bottomless Bible.
The King Baines version.
Oh, by the way, who got the cameo in your comic? I couldn't remember. It was
El Cid.
Al Cid. Shit, did he get it? Oh wow.
Yeah.
See, I organise this kind of stuff and I can't remember. Cool. But did he appear yet?
It's not posted, but yeah, he's in it. Well, his character, I can't remember her name, from Trans Neptunia.
Oh my god! So she's gonna have a gigantic booty and all that kind of thing. that will be interesting. Oh god! Yeah,
Oz, you knew right away, so you can no longer claim that you don't read Trans Neptunian.
I have had a look at that one because it's not as bad as his death porn. So I was able to read that Trans Neptunian, but death porn was just no thank you.
If the name didn't give it away, then I don't know what to tell you, man.
You can take that literally.
I think if you read that, you know what you're getting into. So
Yeah.
You know where the Albino Ginger is going to send you after reading that one. Oh yeah, that's no more talking about that one. Only read the Holy Bible Albino Ginger version. That's the only comic you need to read. You can get all your porn in that.
Atone, people.
Atone. Where else do you get to use that word?
That's right.
He's been waiting the whole Quackcast to say that. He's like, well, I don't have a invite to say it anymore, so I'm just gonna shove it in a sentence.
That's right. You learn a new word, you want to show it off.
That's right.
Don't cover
You
it with a
gotta
fig
practice.
leaf.
Oh.
Hide your bushel under a fig leaf.
Partake in the fig leaf.
Partake. Do you partake?
Postulated a fig leaf.
He's like, what are you guys talking about now? We do this. We haven't officially ended the Quackcast yet, have we?
We haven't.
shouldn't
We're
be
still
rambling
going.
so much. Okay. All right.
All right. We should though. Thank you so much for your donation to the Quackcast, or not to the Quackcast. Your donation to the Duck. It's been so grateful for it, and thank you very much for being on the Quackcast, Bo. It's been fantastic.
yeah, same here.
Oh, cool.
Thanks.
And we look forward to seeing way more of the Holy Bible Albino Ginger version. So please keep going.
Yeah.
Oh,
Please.
totally, man. Yeah.
We're addicted now. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being on the Quackcast. Baines, Tards, Pits.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.